Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Screen Chronicles. I'm Steve, and with me as always is my buddy old palo here, Colbstone El Griffin. How are you doing, Colby?
Doing well. We're getting toward the end of the season of The Last Kingdom, season 4. We're doing episode 8 today. So we're moving right along. Been a pretty solid season so far. And it's a good one to talk about. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's a real interesting couple episodes we had here. 7 and 8 here we're filming today, and
some unexpected things. Certainly didn't see the season going this way.
Did not.
So
that's for sure.
Pretty cool stuff. So first of all, thank you for listening. Thank you for the support, and please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen to, or on YouTube, and please follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. We appreciate your support. So we're going to jump in with our review of the episode first before we get into some of the spoiler details. But there are going to be a lot of spoilers because we're just recapping the episode. So Steve, first of all, what do you think of episode 8?
I thought it was pretty good. It's a different kind of episode. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's got some cool scenes in it and stuff. It's pretty much similar to the last one for me as far as what it does for me. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's good.
So, yeah, solid episode.
Yeah,
8's good. Again, 10 is episode 4, which was like one of the best episodes ever. So, in our opinion, you ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in. Like we said, cool. Spoiler alert. So it's all free reign. Anything from The Last Kingdom up to episode 8 of season 4. So we could spoil season 1, 2, and 3 for you. We just might. So watch it.
Might? Yes.
but make sure too, if you're listening, keep the comments restricted to no spoilers past this point, in case there's people watching or listening to us that haven't heard it. We don't want anyone to scroll down and see a spoiler before that. So so let's get into it. We start out with Brita and Dane's going on a little Dane mission, just beating the crap out of some farmers.
Going like full Viking.
Just going full Viking.
She stabs a dude in the face.
Yes.
And then she like smashes a woman's head.
Yeah.
Like it's again, we talked earlier about how like the kind of gore level is different this season. It seems like they're doing a lot more blood spurting and skull smashing and face stabbing and throat stabbing, and
it's definitely a little bit up from previous seasons.
Not that the other seasons didn't do that stuff, but it seems a little more bloody this season. Like as like the specific stab, like it seems like blood flies out more. I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty brutal scene. Yes. They kill almost everyone. She has a little bit of mercy. I think she sees a little girl and a baby run into the woods. Yeah, and she just decides not to chase them down.
And also, she's like got a big old prego bump at this point, and she's still going around raiding. I mean, just like, you need to be on the couch at this point, just eating a bunch of chocolate. That baby's
going to be healthy.
Spaghetti. That vitamin B12, B. You need to be on all the vitamins. That's for sure. So
listen. A little pillaging never hurt anybody, except for the people being pillaged. But
it's as long as you can talk as you're pillaging. If you can't,
the level of exertion.
You got to monitor the exertion, I guess. You're right.
Yes.
Good point.
You got to keep exercising.
You can't become inactive. Yeah.
And listen, pillaging gets the heart rate up.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you pillage every day for at least half an hour, you're probably going to reduce your chances of coronary, artery disease or anything like that. So.
Oh yes, definitely.
Totally. And going to Aelisburg, Ethelfled and Aelfwin are just, they're just together. They kind of show them waking up, and then we have an Uhtred Ethelfled moment. And she pretty much tells him, like, I'm not happy about this. I don't think you're the right person to do this. She kind of gives her reasons. She says, you're not diplomatic. And he's like, I can be diplomatic. And she's like, well, we need someone like that's independent of Wessex to do this. You know what I mean?
She's pretty much saying, we need me to be doing this. And
he's like, look, I'm not that happy about it either, but this is like the best option right now. It's what keeps you safe. It's what keeps Aelfwin safe. But she goes like, listen, if it came down between what I thought was best for Mercia or myself, I would pick Mercia.
Yeah.
And so she's not happy about Uhtred being it.
It's really annoying. I mean, so she definitely has, Mercia's well-being at her heart, for sure.
Totally.
No doubt about it. And would she be a better ruler than Uhtred? 100%. But at this point, it's just like, can you appreciate your man over here? Like, got a good job.
Has Uhtred ever screwed something like that up?
I know.
He would do a great job.
And in my head, I'm like, if you two are still dating at this point, like, he's just going to pretty much do like any of the political stuff. He's going to leave to you. Any of the battle strategy stuff, he's going to take over and make sure it's done well. So like,
totally.
It's the perfect combo if you guys just team up for this.
It seems it. To us, it seems like, but I guess Ethelfled feels differently, unfortunately. Purely comes in after, and he's like, they all want you to be, it's been written that the Lord of Mercia needs to be baptized. Uhtred does this.
He does like the Picard meme face.
Yeah, he puts his hand over his face and like rubs his eyebrows and like just in disbelief. He's like, all the aldermen want to see you be baptized if you're going to be Lord here. He actually, he agrees. He's annoyed.
I've done this twice. 2 times already.
So
I'm going to be baptized more than anyone else has ever been baptized.
3rd time's the charm here.
3rd time.
So Uhtred does agree. He's annoyed, but he agrees. He doesn't put up too much of a fight. They cut to Wales, where Sigtryggr and Breda are, and Sigtryggr just he's like, look at this place we got here. It's pretty awesome. We should rest here. We just spent like months fighting in Ireland, then we had to travel here. My men are tired. We want to rest here while we got a good spot. It's safe. And Breda's like, we got to go take revenge on Edward and Uhtred. Like, that's what I want to do. And he says something kind of cool here. He's like, my men will fight for land, and they might fight for silver. So good. But he goes, they will not fight for vengeance, which I thought was cool. That was kind of a cool, level-headed thing to say from Sigtryggr. We're still getting to know this Dane.
Yeah, Sigtryggr, he's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty
cool.
I like how even-keeled he is, and but he's still Dane. He's he kill you. He still gives you that old like kill look. Like, he
still seems pretty fearsome and badass. So he tells her, you can go, or she's like, I'm going to go ride north and find allies who will fight the Saxons with me. He's like, then that's what you got to do. Go do it. And she's like, well, you owe me something. You owe me 10 men to go with me on this journey. He's like, I'll give you 5. Deal. He just seems smart. He seems like he thinks. That's kind of what the vibe at this point I'm getting from him.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited at this point when he's on the screen. He's had a great start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting character. Cut back to Edith and Ethelfled. Edith is like hanging out with the kids, playing. There's like a swing, I think. And Ethelfled calls her over. She says that Edith could be of use to Aelfwin. She said she believes in what Uhtred and Ethelfled are doing. This is what Edith says, by the way. So she's trying to tell Ethelfled, like, I'm on your side. I'm sorry, all the stuff that happened with Ethelred, but like, I am on your side. And she says, she's like, I'm all on the Uhtred side here. I'm
Uhtred. Yeah.
Uhtred.
Well, I think she said Etheltred.
Oh, Etheltred. She's
like, I'm Team Etheltred.
I'm Team Etheltred.
So then we get a scene with Uhtred and young Uhtred, and young Uhtred is upset because he's like saying to Uhtred, by the way, Uhtred's wearing this fly white dress, and
he's pulling off the fly white dress, though. I tell you what,
he's pulling it off.
He looks pretty fly.
He does.
He looks like he's about to just like do some like cool dancing. I don't know. It looks cool.
We don't know what's coming. Yeah, he's looking cool. Wearing something different. So
yeah.
So young Uhtred comes in kind of concerned, and he's like, Uhtred's like, what? I'm getting baptized. And he's like, yeah, but like, you're gonna, like, it's not good to be getting baptized when I know you're not accepting God into your heart. And Uhtred says something cool. He's like, oh, so do you worry that every child, when they're baptized, is sincere about accepting God into their heart? You know? And he's like, no, but I think very few of them are doing it to lay claim to a throne. So it's like kind of a back and forth there. It's like, ooh, young Uhtred, I think, won this one. I think he won this one. Maybe. Debatable. And anyway, they're about to have another baptism, but they cut back, and Brita got a new dog.
And this dog is just wearing an Ovechkin jersey, going around.
I told you you couldn't use that joke again.
Oopsie.
Yes. She's like pulling him around like a dog. She's like, this dog needs to be fed and needs to be beaten. And she kicks it. And then she puts the dog down real quick. She like hangs him with a chain, like in the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
And it's totally deserved. I think last episode I was talking about, or you said something about like, nobody deserves that kind of inhumane treatment. And I was like, well, maybe the guy who was doing it to her.
This guy deserves it.
Anyway, we get to see Uhtred naked again. Are we excited about that? I'm confused.
Me too.
No.
But yeah,
but
Uhtred has been hitting the Bowflex or something, man. He's pretty in shape, dude.
He's ripped. Yeah,
he's pretty in shape,
Dream
dude.
has gotten shape. We noticed that season to season, he's like getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. You know, everyone who's watching him about to get into the tub here naked, they're just like, ooh, my, okay, maybe Aylesworth up there. I don't know if she's thinking all the terrible things about Uhtred anymore. I think this is where she turns on Uhtred's side here. She's like, you know what? He would be a good Lord of Mercy. Yeah.
I've never seen this side of him.
I've never seen this side of him. And it is kind of cool, the baptism scene where Puleg kind of puts him down, dunks him in, and
he blows on his face first. He's like, he just like blows on his face.
And now like,
Uhtred's just like,
cast it out of you or something.
It's sort of reminiscent. Remember when Rollo in Vikings gets baptized?
Yes.
The guy's like trying to go to his forehead, and Rollo's just like backing up.
He's just so like stiff, and doesn't like know what's going on.
Edward's talking about how he's confident in his decision, and Aylesworth, again, she's being classic Aylesworth. Like, don't ever forget he held a knife to Alfred's throat. Reminds me of when young Uhtred we saw his second baptism when he became Uhtred.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of that. But it's a cool shot of him just staring.
Yeah, just staring. And at this point, I'm like, oh, is he like gonna be Christian now?
Well, he comes out and he's just a changed man. And he just gets out and he just like wants to have communion. And he's just going around peaceful.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, he just changed immediately.
No,
but it does make you think, like the way they film it, like it looks like he's going through a change.
Like, did he have a revelation in there? I don't know.
I was a little worried about that.
Yeah, me too.
And the boys are in the alehouse. This is a good scene.
And they go up for some drinks, Finn and the crew. And the bartender, they go to her, and they're like, so where are the king advisors? And
you don't look like advisors.
Have you ever seen advisors before?
Yeah. Well, this is what advisors look like. Finnan sleeveless.
tank top Finnan still here, baby. Yeah, he like gets a drink, and then he's like, no, I can't give you one, or the boss will kill us.
It's like, get milk for her.
Yeah. And
she takes his cup.
And they all just like,
and then they all laugh.
Well, they all look at her for a second like Uhtred's gonna kill us for giving her ale. And then they laugh and just like puts her arm around her. And she's like instantly one of the bros. You know what I mean?
She's a bro. Oh, yeah. She's awesome. Oh, at the baptism, Edward told Uhtred he wanted to meet with him. alone.
Uhtred has clothes on at this point, though. Let's put that out there.
Yes, he does.
Don't get too excited, if you forgot, he has clothes on now.
Yeah, so Ethel fled. She's really troubled by all this. Aelswith says Alfred was a wise judge of character. She saw something in Uhtred that I could not see. Ethelfled comes back with, well, he is a great man, but he's not the right man. Aldhelm comes in and is like, quick, guys, you're going to miss the Witten. Come on. And you don't want to miss the intro of the Witten. That's the best part.
That's the best part of the Witten.
We get to have another Witten, which is exciting.
About dang time.
They show King Howell returning to that little village where Brita had slain all those people. And he finds the young girl who escaped with the baby. And he's like, was it Dane's? And she like nods yes. And he's like, all right, thanks. Good luck. See you later. No, we don't see, but he doesn't do anything right away. He's just like, we'll get them for this or something. And, and they don't show him helping her. I'm sure he had a guard. Hopefully he had somebody go and help the little girl with the baby.
Yeah, and they're all just wearing...
Don't say it. Don't say it. What are they wearing?
Santa Claus uniforms, but not the white.
There you go.
Atlanta Falcon uniforms.
King Howell.
And the rest of the Falcons.
Back to the Witten. Edward says Wessex does not wish to influence this Witten. LOL. Because by saying that, I feel like he is influencing the Witten.
We just already to go however it would.
The guy who's going to be your lord. How is he not influencing this Witten?
However you guys want it to go, as long as you pick the guy I picked, that's fine.
Nobody objects to Uhtred. In fact, Luddica's like kind of talking good about him, and they actually all start beating their chest.
Battle at Ethington, he brings up. Remember, he was the Battle at Ethington guy, Ludica.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So it seems like they're all cool with this. And he gets on the thing and he makes his first act as Lord. And he's like, all right, I'm here. Give it to Ethelfled. Tag, you're it.
Hot potato.
Hot potato. And this just causes an uproar. They're like, a woman cannot sit on the throne. And the reason for this, you come to finally explain, it's because the reason why they don't want a woman on the throne is that if she decided to get married, whoever she married would bypass the Witten.
And become a lord. Yeah.
Become a lord. And so that's kind of dangerous. Then the Witten wouldn't have any control over who is their lord. You know what I mean? Because who knows who Ethelfled? Obviously, you would think Ethelfled would not choose somebody who, would be bad, but it's kind of a risk to them that they don't want to take.
Yeah.
So they are worried about that. Somebody actually says something about, Ludica actually is like, but King Offa's widow ruled for many years and it was pretty good. And Ethelfled proposes something and she's like, I will become chaste. And Uhtred's like, never mind. I'm done. I take it back.
He's like, oh, maybe I should have ran this by her first. See what she said.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
That's her the first thing she says, though, is cutting it off. Cutting it all off to Uhtred here. Just like, what? He's giving you this. He's giving you this.
And obviously Edward is not happy about this. Edward kind of feels like one's like being pulled over on him here.
Yeah, completely blindsided by the Uhtred
totally
thing.
Blindsided. I get why he's mad. He ends up storming out, but Ethelfled swears to chastity. And the real Ethelfled, actually, when she ascended after the real Ethelred's death in history, the historian Ian Walker said that it was one of the most unique times in early medieval history, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Did you see anything if she did swear to chastity or anything?
I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. So if anybody knows more about it, let us know. We'd love to learn more about it.
Yeah. Story behind the story. That's always interesting.
That's kind of what we're doing here. That's what we're trying to find. So it looks like it's going to be the Lady of Mercia. Looks like we're going to have Ethelfled, who I thought would be the choice anyway, because people loved her before Ethelred died.
Yeah.
But I do see what the aldermen are worried about by choosing a woman.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just the Lord getting in, bypassing them all.
And so they make that agreement. As long as she is chaste, she will be the Lady of Mercia.
That's lame. It's lame.
Cut scene to Osford.
That's like
vomiting.
The first thing she goes to too. She's the first thing. She's like, oh, then I just won't ever do that again.
Uhtred's like, John on the floor. Anyway, cut scene to Osford vomiting because he drank too much, and
the boys have been partying hard.
They've been partying hard, thinking that they were like the new advisors to the Lord of Mercia. They're thinking they're going to be set up good for a while.
We're set for now. We're set.
Yeah.
We're set.
So they're pretty happy about it.
They're
like, we better find. They're like, let's find Uhtred so we can advise him.
And we can go advise him.
And somebody, the kind of shot ends. I was kind of confused at first. What happened is somebody like holds a sword up to them and they like stop, and it's really quick. Shot ends. Back to people are making oaths to Ethelfled, and Aldhelm comes in with a cool line to Uhtred saying like, well, your reign of mercy was brief, but during that time you served Mercia well. You know, saying like you did the right thing. I thought it was cool.
She's probably the better choice, but I did not like how like jealousy and
like
resentful she was at Uhtred. You know.
Yeah, I didn't either. I did not see it coming. I thought she was gonna be happy that it was Uhtred because it was somebody she trusted, or you know,
exactly. And she's like
someone she loved.
Uhtred.
So like, that kind of threw me off.
Someone else, like, what you would have been happy with?
Could
that?
Be the Bergred guy.
I know, Bergred's son.
Or his son. His son, I mean.
Insert Bergred's son. Copy, paste, Control X, get rid of, you know? Yeah, that was just it. And then too, she gets more kind of annoying later in the episode too. She's like, well, you know, now you have to leave too. She's just kind of, I really don't like her after she becomes queen. Like, I'm not saying
my girlfriend and I were saying some of the same things. It was like she became a little bit less likable after this point.
Yeah, she becomes kind of snooty. And I really wanted her to be Lord too. When they were looking for a new leader, I honestly was like, they're going to Ethelred for sure. And I was like, that's what my Ethelred and Ethelfled. I'm gonna keep doing it, people. But when Ethelred died, I thought for sure Ethelfled was a sure thing, and I wanted that. I wanted that
totally.
But then the way she like was acting with Uhtred, and then she treats Edith afterwards, I'm just like, what are you doing here? You know, how are you better than the guys? You know, because that's what I wanted her, was to be better than the other guys. She's obviously better than Ethelred, but you know, like, how are you better? It
reminds me of the Joe Rogan joke about, he's like, I totally think a woman could be president. She could mess it up just as bad as the men could.
Yes, and that's what she's doing. She's basically Edwarding now herself. So,
well, remember, they're Alfred and Aelswith kids. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
and they were snooty. I mean, Aelswith was always snooty, and Alfred could be so snooty.
Oh, sometimes. Alfred had big snooty moments.
Snooty. I like that. I don't think I've ever used that word today or in my life until today. Snooty.
Awesome.
So I'm not really that happy about it. So let's move on. So where were we? Finan comes in and is like, yo, Edward's people, his guards and soldiers have kind of taken over. Ethelfled is like, I want to talk to my brother. And Father Purely comes out. He's like, he doesn't want to talk to you. And she's like, tell him I want to talk. And Father Purely's like, fine, I'll go. They want Ethelfled to flee. Uhtred suggests it. Ethelfled says, no, we'll wait here. We'll stay here. Uhtred's like, okay, then Finan, you guard her. Uhtred, Sihtric, and Osferth are going to ride out to do something. And yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. We got a little conflict in Aelisburg with Edward and Ethelfled.
Yeah, a little sibling rivalry here. Parents hide the china. The kids are at it again here, you know.
Edward's like doing something again. It's just like, man, he's acting out of his emotions.
Yeah.
He's like, all the aldermen agreed to it. It's like, he feels upset.
Sister too. Like, and she wants.
Well, I think that's what's feeding into it a little bit.
Well,
too.
Yeah, definitely.
We talked about maybe a little bit of the jealousy between him and her.
Yeah. But I guess, you know, as we're seeing it, it's just like, you know, that's like a sure thing for like your lineage, like,
dude,
dominating. complete Walmart monopoly going on here, you know?
Yeah. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but there's something about it that's just so awesome to me about the whole show, the whole thing. And I'll talk about it toward the end of this episode more.
Okay, yeah.
We'll get to it. But we cut to Airwolf. We hadn't seen him in a little while. He had run away after Edith outed him as the one who killed Ethelred. He's making a fire. And all of a sudden he's surrounded, and Burrito walks on up, immediately calls him an ass licker, and he is subdued by another Dane, and Burrito's like, she like chuckles.
Her laugh was literally the laugh I did when he got hit. When he got hit and he fell down, I was like, and
she does it.
She does it the same way.
Yeah, she's like, that's good. That's good. Cutscene back to Pure League and young Uhtred. And young Uhtred's trying to understand his father. He's like, was this his plan all along when he got baptized to be able to do this? And Pure League just tries to convince him. He's like, look, your father is a good man. Like, how many times you got to be told, young Uhtred? Like, everyone's like sat you down and told you how awesome Uhtred is. Biaka did it.
For the
Finan did it.
Best outcome.
Uhtred's done it. Pure League's doing it. Like,
and these are all stand-up guys themselves, even if you're not counting Uhtred.
They're all Christian, God-fearing Christians.
That's right. Yeah, we do find
Except
out
Uhtred.
This season is Finan is pretty Christian. So
he is, you know, and I think, you know, in the previous seasons they don't focus on that a whole lot. I think he wears a cross and stuff, but like this season they're really showing him praying and everything.
Yeah, and he says like in I think the first episode when they're saying, you know, the week of Ascension, when Uhtred is just like completely confabulated, he was just like, I don't know what that is. Just and Finn's like, oh, the first week Ascension, that's next Saturday. Good Christian boy, you know. Young Uhtred.
But yeah, so they're just telling him again and again. And young Uhtred goes like, he's like, my father keeps testing my faith again and again. And he's like, I've realized now I need to go serve God and God alone. So I'm gonna go. And he also like, I think maybe later on in the episode, it's later on when he's talking to Steor, but he says like, Father Bayaka saved me, so I need to dedicate myself to like serving God like Bayaka would want me to. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
He also says to Father Pure League, he doesn't know whether he should be so proud or ashamed or something. You know, before Pure League tells him, and it is a cool thing, but it's just like, you just want to slap the kid and be like, it's cool. It's cool. Like everything he does is not for himself. It's for the betterment of the kingdom. The only selfish thing he has is Bevembur. You know, that's like the only selfish like desire he had.
Yeah. He's just had like all of Uhtred's bros trying to convince him.
I know.
So have you ever seen Airplane?
Yes.
It's like the scene with the woman who's freaking out, and they just have a line of people just like trying to smack her, like snap out of it.
There's like guys with like baseball bats and
like crowbars, like ready to. Anyway, where were we? So Aelswith and Ethelstan are walking down the hallway in another scene, and Edward comes out, and he says, and he sees them, and it's a cool scene with Ethelstan. He gives him a little toy he made of a king.
Yeah.
And Edward goes, is he a cool king? Or no, is he a cool king? Is he a good king?
Is he a sweet king?
And the kid's like, the coolest. No, is he a good king? And the kid's like, yeah, he is. And that, you can see Edward, like, that meant a lot to him.
Yeah, it did.
And he says, yes, like you.
Ooh, I forgot.
Nice, dude.
That is nice.
Nice
father-son moment. We got a lot of little father-son moments this season.
Cut back to super cool scene with Sigtrygr and the Welsh. So King Howl is here. He's ready. It's nighttime. The Danes are there and they're ready to attack. So King Howl starts charging. And, you know, actually Sigtrygr is like standing there all calm, and he's like, you know, bows or something, and you see the fire shoot 2 arrows, and in the dark, these are some very good archers.
I was thinking
right
that
where they need to, and they start a cool fire like wall,
firewall.
And then he's like longbows, and then the longbows come out, and they
he's
start
like
shooting people behind the fire. Loose. So What does that remind you of?
Jon Snow at the battle at the wall. Yeah, with the wildlands.
Loose. Totally.
Loose.
Yes. And then, like, some men are starting to retreat because they're just getting housed here.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has the archers again take the fire and long shot it behind him. Just ring of fire, baby. Ring of fire.
Into a burning ring of fire.
Ring of fire.
I went down, 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 and
Switcheroo came in and killed me after. and and he does. They charge in. They finish him up. I think he says finish them, and they go into the fire. They like jump over the flames.
It's a cool fire shot of him walking.
Oh, they have a cool scene like with the fire and him like just staring, all scary and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of
we see Sigtryggr is a thinker. He's a planner.
I
said this in our trailer breakdown. He seemed very Uhtred-ish to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of learn he's got a lot of parallels to Uhtred.
Outside the box thinking.
Totally.
Yeah. And there's another thing too this season. There's so many like archers this season. You know, we talked before when we first saw season 1, you and I were both like, why are there no archers? But then I later did find out from the book, at least the book from Bernard Cornwell, the rationale for there not being a lot of like archers was it was like a hard skill to master. Like Uhtred even says like I can't shoot a bow.
It's a good point.
Like bowmen are hard to find. Like that's why they're like so valuable in your crew. But this season it seems like anyone can hit anyone with a bow and arrow.
Edward crushed Jackdaw in episode 4 with that one through the neck. That was an awesome shot, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said that in that video. I probably said it like 5 times, but it's all right.
You can say it again.
Say it again.
But then these ones, these ones too are just hitting in the dark lines in the grass that you can't see. You know what I mean? Like
it's pretty awesome.
It's still cool. It's a cool scene though.
It's an awesome.
Can't take that away from it.
No, it's an awesome scene. And it's just kind of when we go back to season 1, episode 8, where Bayaka is probably 50 yards away from Uhtred and yells, Uhtred! And throws a spear. And Uhtred somehow hears him with all the screaming Vikings around him, turns and catches it, and then throws it.
Yeah.
It was still pretty awesome, though.
You didn't notice that one, though, when it happened, though. Because it was
really quick.
He just broke a shield wall, and this and that. Yeah, so but this one
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. It was the second time watching it was like kind of like, oh, that probably is a little unrealistic. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty awesome moment.
Yeah, still awesome moment here then too.
So so cool scene there. Cut back to Eardwolf is tied up to like a log that's like lying across a ditch. They're eating his food. She says, thanks for the food. Rita says that, and he's like, I can help you guys. And she's kind of insulting him, and he brings up Teton Hall. He's like, he starts making her mad.
Mm-hmm.
It's making her mad. And he's like, I have valuable information for you guys. And he's like, and if you don't think it is, then you can kill me. And she's like, oh, I intend to. No, I totally am going to kill you. She's thinking to herself.
She's a bloodthirsty lady.
She is. After being let out as a slave, totally a big change in Brita.
Yeah. I wonder if pregnancy does that
dark
too.
Side. Okay. No comment on that. But
I'm just kidding, people. I'm just kidding. It doesn't do that.
So, yes. Yeah. So anyway, say they where's it? Oh,
you were saying about the pregnancy bloodthirsty. I think that's where you left off.
Where I gotta find myself here. Airwolf. Okay. So somebody comes in and is like, bring Ethelflaed outside. I think it's Steora who says this. And she's like, there's something she needs to see. And Uhtred is riding back. He has raised the fjords, the Mercian fjords. And he kind of comes back like knowing nothing's going to happen, but like it's just a sign, it's just a symbol to show Edward, like, you need to stand down, you know?
Yeah. And like everyone behind Uhtred's too, like, yeah, Uhtred, woo! Woo!
I know.
Just like guys with pitchforks. They're like, yeah, this is fun.
Totally. So Uhtred rolls up with them and he's like, here they are, Ethelfled. You want us to come and wipe out Edward now? And she's like, I do not want to waste, you know, any mercy and blood unless absolutely necessary. And this is where, you know, putting the pressure on Edward here, you know, and it kind of makes Edward look foolish. And he's still upset about it, but yeah, you know. Anyway, cut scene to, I think she also says, you know, the Fjords will remain outside for now and be ready if we need them.
Yeah, she's like, let's just talk.
Yeah. But young Uhtred and Steora have a moment as young Uhtred's leaving. And this is where he talks about wanting to honor Father Beaka. She wants to go to Wessex so she can live a little bit.
Yeah, she says she wants to be on her own because she's been trapped in that house and at Ethelfled's estate with all the kids, you know, for so long. And
she's like, what am I going to do? Just stay here and wait to be married or something, you know? And she wants to live. Steora is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
I like her.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a scene where Edward's wearing a hood, his hoodie. It's kind of chilly outside. So he put on a little hoodie and he's overlooking the people and the fjords. And then there's a scene where he tells Ethelfled that he was wrong. And he's like, sees that she was the right choice now. He sees that now. And he kind of comes to his senses here. You know, he's kind of taking the time, let the emotions get out of his system, starts thinking more clearly. And this is what I said I wanted to talk about, because they start talking together and saying how they can work together. And he proposes that Mercy and Wessex put an army together of both sides and go take East Anglia. And she's like, yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking that too. It'll show unity. And she's like, after that, we can move into Northumbria and unite the kingdoms. And I'm just like, this is awesome. These are Alfred's 2 kids with Aelswith. I mean, you know, we had more kids than that.
Yeah.
But these are his 2 kids, and they're going to, you know, they're his legacy, and they're going to do his dream here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just, to me, it's pretty freaking awesome.
It is a really cool scene. Yeah. Just his legacy and everything he was doing represents. And we know too, because they just straight up told us, you know, when they showed us Ethelstan, that eventually too, like this is like the steps here. Here we go. Yeah. Here's step 2. Alfred did step 1, get the idea, start working on it, have some kids. The kids now, step 2 here, they're starting to work on it. And we know eventually we're going to get a big step 3 when Ethelstan just gets it all together.
Gets it together. Put it all together. There's a Rick and Morty scene. I don't know if you've seen. He's talking to his sister, and he's like, get your shit together. And he's like, go get all your shit, put it in a bag, get it together. He like leaves the room and he pops his head back in. Get your shit together. Anyway,
so that's what happens in this scene.
Yeah. So then Uhtred, cutscene, Uhtred tells Ethelfled that he's going to return to Cookham. And he says that it's going to be too hard to stay here to see you every day and not be able to have you. It would just be too painful. And she talks about the huge sacrifice she made losing him to do this, what she's doing. And she says she'll miss him. He says, I will always answer your call as long as you're Lady of Mercia. Yeah, so kind of a cool moment. It just stinks that they can't be together.
Stinks. She could have just been like, as long as I don't take a husband, you know, I can still fool around with Uhtred. Like, everyone liked Uhtred, so they've been like, sounds good, you know?
We won't say anything.
Sounds good. We won't say anything.
No, come on. She could have just been like, okay, but what if I, instead of saying the chess thing, what if I marry Uhtred?
I know, that's another thing. I was like, that's what I thought they were going to do, is when they were like, no, she can't. No, that's a woman. And she was like, well, what if I marry Uhtred and Uhtred like just runs the army and, you know, and then I do all the important stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But no, she's like, I want it all, and I want to be chased.
Yeah. Plus, Uhtred, I don't think Uhtred wants to stay in Mercia.
I don't think so.
He's got other ambitions. And anyway, another scene with Aelswith talking with Edward, and now they're talking about Ethelstan. She says it's too dangerous in Winchester for him to go there because Edward's going to be heading back to Winchester. And she's like, ask permission. Can I take charge of the boy and bring him to Bedwyn where I can raise him as I raised you? So he agrees. It's probably the better option.
And
pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Edward, too, seems interested in his son, Ethelstan.
He's starting to. He's growing on him, right?
Because we didn't even see any interest in his other son, who I don't even know offhand who his other son is. So, it's pretty cool to see him interested in Ethelstan, who he literally got up and walked away from when she made her speech about him,
Yeah, totally. Cutscene to Ethelfled going to Edith, still playing at the swing set with the kids. The kids love Edith. They love Edith.
I know. Best
She's
aunt
the best
ever.
Babysitter. Yeah, well, yeah. Ethelfled's like, if I let you stay here, you were sleeping with my husband, that's going to make me look weak.
Such a petty thing to worry about, Ethelfled.
It really sucks. Yeah, because then there's like this emotional scene where Edith is like, okay, well, I'm just going to go on my own then, if that's okay. And says it's okay. And then she goes and hugs Aelfwyn, Ethelfled's daughter, and Ethelred's daughter. Mm-hmm. And, well, not really, Eric's daughter. Ethelstan's there, and he comes and hugs, and it's just like very emotional scene.
Yeah, it is.
And they love her. Man, do they love her. And it shows
I love her.
It shows Ethelfled like looking on, like almost like it's like hard for her to do. But
she's what I mean?
She doesn't look she's still doing it. It kind of sucks.
It is stupid. It's dumb. It sucks.
Get over it. It was in the past.
Over it.
Come on, Ethelfled, get over it.
I think it really just came down to we couldn't have the two prettiest women in one area at the same time. Like one.
Well, that was the biggest. Yeah, that's the biggest threat right there.
I mean, like the guys wouldn't be getting anything done, and they just wouldn't be getting anything done.
Totally.
No work is getting done in that kingdom.
Yeah, so that's actually a smart move by Ethelfled to.
So maybe it is a good idea. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
At least 50% of the work is going to get done now.
Yeah, totally. Cutscene to Sigtryggr, and he's in the whale in Wales, and Brita comes back with Eardwulf, and he's like having a great time. The men are resting. They're just hanging out. They're lounging around. They're watching Netflix. It's all good. And Brita shows up and is like, I'm going to change your mind. We should take Winchester now. And he's like, why? And she brings Eardwulf in and says that he's like, who's this turd? And she's like, this is the turd that's going to help us take Winchester.
Without losing a single
Dane losing
or something.
Dane. And and then they cut scene to the boys upset at a table with Uhtred. They're just all like, ugh. We're not advisors to a lord anymore. Come on.
They thought they were in the green, man.
They thought they were set for
life here.
So Uhtred's like, go get more ale. And he's like, more ale it is. And
Uhtred's like, we still have some good things though, or something.
Our friendship.
And Finnan's like, if you say friendship, I'm gonna lose it.
And so then there's a funny scene where Finan goes back up, and the bartender, who's a smart aleck, is like, oh, are the advisors back or something?
The Lord's advisors, huh?
Yeah, so she's giving it right back to him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, give me some ale. And then Edith slams down, looks like some coin, and is like, I gotcha if you let me travel with you guys. I want to be a bro. I want to be in a group.
And this is pretty good now, because we're like, all right, cool.
I'm cool with that. I like Edith.
Part of the bro group. And Finan looks like he's definitely okay with it. Like, definitely okay.
Yeah. He's like, make it 2 ales. And then, so Eardwulf, back to Eardwulf, he says that Winchester is currently undefended. And then Brita's like, we're never going to have an opportunity like this again. We need to go. Sigtryggr takes some kind of skull and puts it over Eardwulf's face, which is apparently the funniest joke ever to the Danes.
Dude, I've been laughing though too.
It did. It just was like they all just started dying laughing.
Classic
when
Dane
he
humor.
Put this, yeah.
Oh, classic joke.
They're like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious."
That's a classic Switcheroo move there.
Yeah, classic Sigtrigger. And then he's like, "We leave for Winchester today," and awesome Viking roars, Brita looking determined, and Sigtrigger like up on the table like, "Ah!" And different music, cool music. If you missed this, go back and watch the end of episode 8.
Yeah, I can't think of the
music. Listen. Oh, it was so cool.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Viking style
at the end of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different than the like normal like thing that usually comes in.
Yeah,
I think really cool.
The last episode too, for the credits, they had like a different music playing too.
Yeah, it got me so pumped up.
And it's annoying that it like cuts off on Netflix. I like you have to like click the thing before it does that if you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it like got me so, that music got me so pumped. Like, they're about to take Winchester right now. That's crazy. Of course, Winchester's been taken in season 1 already. So it's not like it's brand new. It's not like no one's ever done it. But remember, now it's been fortified way better than it was by Edward. He's been working on fortifying Winchester. They talked about early in this season.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a
big old
deal. So anyway, that's the episode. That ends. We're going to episode 9 next. We're getting close to the end of the season. We got a new Dane who's awesome. And what was like your favorite bro moment, dude?
My favorite bro moment would probably be when Finan, Citric, Osforth, and Stjorda roll up to the bar.
Yep.
Finan leading, we are the king's advisors or the lord's advisors. And then the whole like drinking thing that they have going on. I really like the one at the end too, where they're all just like, oh
yeah.
And like, if you say our friendship, I'm gonna hit you or something like that.
Totally.
But I'm gonna go with the first drinking one and I think they're just like binge drinking for like maybe like a day or two,
Yeah. Totally. So I also picked them in the bar, the first one with them in the bar, or the ale house, and them like laughing when Stjorda takes it, because now Stjorda is like initiated into the bros, and cool little bro moments in this episode. But what was your favorite moment overall?
That's a tough one. I really liked the Citrigger stuff in this. And I don't know. I kind of just liked the whole leading up to the crowning of, or what you thought was going to be the crowning of Uhtred.
Yeah.
I mean, because it turns out that it's not, and that it's really a Lord Switcheroo on Uhtred's end. But I just really like the baptism, getting ready, talking to his son, and like I was like, it seems like he's like kind of like maybe getting there. So. Yeah. What about you? What was your favorite moment?
Mine is the reconciliation of Edward and Ethelfled when they talk about sending an army together to East Anglia. Because to me, this embodies Alfred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, it's so cool that his children are like, they're doing it.
His legacy is like actually living on, and it's not just dying out. It's dream vision. It's going.
It's totally awesome. Love it. That's my best moment.
Got a lot of cool Citrigger stuff in this.
Yes, he's becoming a very cool Dane.
I really didn't like the how Ethelfled has changed here, and
True.
We'll talk more about that in other episodes too, I think. And I'm not knocking on her character. I really like her character. I mean, pretty much up until she becomes queen here, I don't dislike her. She's just kind of annoying and feels like kind of contradictory.
She's not reacting the way you want her to.
Yeah. And how if she was queen, that'd be great, especially if she did all the things that seemed to fit her before. But now it almost seems like she's like, all right, what in the Alfred playbook of kings, should I be playing here? What card do I got?
Totally. Yeah. So let us know what moments you loved. What were your favorite bro moments? What were your favorite overall moments? And what did you think of this episode?
Yeah, what would you rank it? Let us know.
How would you rank it? Yeah, just let us know. We want to know. And please subscribe to us. Keep following us as we continue to put videos out and podcasts out.
Check out the description. You can get the link to the podcast, or if you're on podcast, link to the YouTube video, and anything else out there. Remember, keep the comments specific to anything up to season 4, episode 8. No spoilers for 9 or 10, or season 5 if you somehow know something about 5.
Yeah.
If there even is a 5, Thanos might kill everyone. So
yeah. But I mean, if you've read all the books, please just don't.
Oh, that's right. Book people. Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it, please.
But thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening. And remember, we're the Screen Chronicles, and destiny
is always